Hello, hello, hello.
Hello guys.
How are you all? Thanks for coming along. We've got a good few in already. To the what was the February? I know we're halfway through March now, but February was a short month, so we are welcome along to the giveaway for our free giveaway.
Orchard Experiment.
Orchard Experiment Glenfiddich. What a nice bottle of whiskey, yeah.
Yeah. Number 5.
Supposed to come on, tell you a bit about the bottle, and then pour ourselves a dram. But we've kind of already done that.
We've jumped the gun slightly.
We jumped the gun a wee bit.
Yeah.
We've already started, which is from a second bottle down here. Don't worry, we haven't dipped the winner's bottle. So all good there. You tried it yet?
Nice one. Yeah.
Jank.
Let's have a wee nose earlier on. So it's finished in a for want of a better term, a
cider cask,
isn't it? Aye.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. I mean, it
is nice. We're
fruity.
We'll get into the back of the box and all that, but when we get a wee bit more people in, just waiting on a few people to come in here. We've got quite a good turnout for the draw this month. Quite a few re-offenders, which is cool. We always like when it's loyal people. So thanks again, everybody who has got involved with this.
What was our total number for this one?
107 we've got this time.
107 in for this one.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's free whiskey, innit? Last month was quite good. There was a guy from Edinburgh that won it last month, and he won the Clydeside bottle, and I went and delivered it to him.
Hand delivered.
Nice one. And I watched back the video of this last time, and I put my foot in it a wee bit. I was like, Harry Rogan was his name. If you're watching, Harry, how you doing? And I think I said, we had a couple of drams. I said, Harry, if you're watching, I'll deliver this. And I didn't even know where he was from. It could have been from anywhere.
Aye.
And thankfully he came through. He was from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And he works in a really cool place. He obviously I'm a golfer. You're a past golfer. Can maybe get back into it, but aye. So he works at SGGT. Which is a custom fitting place where you go and you get all the shafts done, the lofts, everything done, and it's like fine tooth comb stuff to find out how to get you to hit a golf ball.
And you go and hit it in the range and do all
it's an amazing place. So he's actually a club builder in there.
Right.
He builds the clubs when
puts
they
the
get
heads on and balances everything.
When they get an order, it all comes in. So they go with someone else into the bay. Right, you need this, you need that, blah blah blah, and then he gets an order sheet. And Harry will actually make it himself. He'll get the shafts in, he'll glue them together, he'll do all that, he'll put the right grips on it. And he makes the clubs for SGGT. They're a really
professional
cool
outfit.
Cool outfit, yeah.
Good.
Jack, we're slagging you already. John was a golfer for one day, then got paired with you next round. Aye, okay. There's a story.
Cheers for that, Jack.
There's a story behind that. Aye, Jack was against me and you that day. Do you remember that day? I remember it well. We got hammered.
Where was this?
Well, we were in Portugal.
Oh right, okay, in Portugal.
You played really well the first day, and then paired with me in the second day, and we were playing.
I think I led on points that day, didn't I?
No, the first day. The second day you had a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think Jack, what did you shoot? Level par, 1 over, something like that. Put in the comments what you shot that day, because you absolutely hammered us. I'm saying it was 7 and 6, but I think it might have been 8 and 7. I don't know. But that was an absolute trouncing, and he'll never let us forget it. I don't think it would have really mattered if it was you, me, MD. He would have 2 under. So Jack was 2 under that day. Was that until you beat us, Jack, or to the end of the round? I can't remember. Me and Gary Buse, that's right.
Class.
You and Gary. I'll actually go to the range with Gary tomorrow, so I'll try and deflect him a wee bit so that I can do better than him this season.
We've got a comment in there for is it Jer? How do you pronounce that name? Guerra?
Oh, David Guerrero.
David Guerrero. Oh right, okay. So you say the other word. I'm saying it the way it's said first. Then.
I promise you will taste it. So David's entered. I used to work with David.
Right, David. So David's much easier than trying to pronounce his second name.
French. No, he's Spanish.
Oh, Spanish.
Spanish. Okay. He lives in Glasgow now. Though I'm supposed to be going to watch the Champions League with him on Wednesday. Big Real Madrid fan.
Big whiskey fan as well, I hope.
Well, maybe. Well, if he wins, he will be.
Aye.
If he wins, he will be. Craig Maxwell's in. Fancy whiskey then, the lovely open can of Tennessee. Okay, we weren't supposed to have that on camera, but since it's here now, then
class. So the Orchard Experiment then. What we're gonna chat about this?
Well, I really like it. I think again, Glenfiddich. We've said before that for me, Glenfiddich kind of doesn't get a bad name. It's a well-run. It's a multi huge big. Business. It's a great distillery. It's one of the longest ever going. But to me, I've read a few things. I've heard a few things firsthand that people say, "Oh, it's just you get the green one. It's on the shelf in Asda." Says yes, it is.
Aye, it is, of course.
But it's quality.
Aye,
it's really good. Like it's kind of one of the ones. It's the same as like Lafroig 10. See if you go into like a normal bar that usually sells
medicinal whiskey.
And someone says, "Give me a malt." It's
Aye.
usually one of the two,
Aye.
and that kind of gets associated with people then saying, it's not so good. But Glenfiddich, the 12-year-old, the experimental series, everything they do
because of the scale that they're doing as well, the amount of cask they've got, the amount of capacity they've got each year. They're doing like capacity of millions of litres and whatever and so on. They've got that option. Whereas some of the smaller ones might not have that. They might not have the chance to experiment with different stuff and say, right, well, we're going to, have a bourbon, that's been sitting in this cask for 10 years, and then go and finish it in a cider cask or a wine cask, or whatever particular cask it is. So I think with the bigger distilleries, although some people might think, consistent product, they're not going. They're no breaking the rules in any way, but if no, you could say the opposite about Glenfiddich and Balvenie to to a certain extent.
You mean they do push
they're spearheading some of that stuff because they've got those options and if they mess up a cask, they can they can
afford to lose it,
but they can
because they've got so many.
If it doesn't make it into a bottle, it's not so much a big problem. But
I think that's where the experimental series is born,
because.
It's not that they can afford to lose and they just want to throw it away willy-nilly. Of course, not every single drop of whiskey to any manufacturer is vital, but they can almost roll the dice on it a wee bit. Do you know what I mean?
If anyone's been to the distillery, you've seen the big vats and stuff they've got in there, and the stuff's it's not just in casks like. At this height, it's in big huge vats, and they're keeping stuff in there. It's that. So
I've not been. I know you went to Caelan, didn't you?
I've been a few times.
I've not been. I've seen it in all the pictures. I would love to go.
Yeah,
we need to go there physically.
Yeah, of course. Teeing up our next trip there.
Yeah. Oh, there's Caelan Lang just watching.
Nice.
She in the draw.
It's not allowed, remember.
No, quite right.
There's terms, there's legalities around this now. We need to make sure that.
Aye. So who we've got Stephanie McConaughey. We've got Kathleen Fife. I'm pretty sure you two are in the draw, which is good.
Good stuff.
Derek Marshall, Zahari Petrov is in the house. Met Zahari a few times. That's he works with Josh.
Right. Okay.
Big into his whiskey.
Oh, aye, yeah. So he is. He is.
Yep, Zahari, we've got lots in store for you soon, mate. You just keep an eye on what we've got on the website, and I'm sure you'll like what we've got for you. Just waiting on a couple more people coming in.
Your comments are miles ahead of mine, by the way.
We've got Jane Weir is in. Not sure if Jane's in the draw or not, but listen, this is not just for the draw. Me and John are going to stay here for a while, talk about Glenfiddich, talk about whiskey, talk about how we've kind of started all this thing off. It's been quite quick, and how we've, decided
progressed, I guess.
To go down this whiskey route properly, as opposed to just.
So I guess we've been there for there wasn't a lot of people on the draw last time because it was just our first one.
Yeah.
So we started collecting maybe 5-6 years ago or something
like that.
And it's only really been recently we're kind of like this is starting to kind of fill up the house a wee bit with different. So I know that's kind of the idea behind it, and then so obviously. There'll be some rare stuff that we're going to put on there, but there will be some stuff that's, I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word accessible, but it will be starting at lower prices, and it'll be going through the range.
It'll be a little bit here and there at the start. I mean, on our, we're hoping, by the way, guys, we're going to be, all things being well, we'll be launching April. Let's just say April for now. Hopefully start of April, but it will be April.
We're kind of going through that whole design process with the website, and
so
got a good company on that for us.
Yeah, we're going to have 6 competitions on the go at one time, as opposed to just what we're doing with the free stuff just now, just one per month. We're going to have lots of tickets, lots of opportunities for people to to come in and get a ticket for draws for maybe one will be a Glenfiddich, one will be a Lagavulin, one will be a Bowmore, a Springbank, a Lochlee. So there's going to be stuff on there that everybody can try and get an opportunity to win.
Of course.
And that's kind of what we're trying to do.
That's the idea, really, isn't it?
We do have some really nice, old and rare stuff that we guarantee will go on the website further down the line.
Yeah.
Further down the line, but we've got some serious contenders. Every time we do this, I know it's only the second time, but I always kind of look down to the left. You guys can't see it off camera, but there's loads of nice stuff. I can see Aaron McCallan, I can see even nice stuff.
Few maybe recognise what that is as well. So
yeah, Springbank. Yeah, we like Springbank. We went there last week. We'll touch on that a wee bit later on. Glenfiddich. I've got Johnny Walker in there. That's controversial, but that's maybe something else we can speak about later in this episode.
Aye. Hopefully it doesn't end up in an argument, but no, kidding. But I know that was it. No, we'll get kind of different opinions on that, but we'll open up the forum on that and see what everyone else thinks.
Tonight on this draw, I'm going to change your mind.
Yeah,
I'm not going to open the bottle because we might be doing a giveaway. But so we've had Jane Weir, we've got Ali Fagan in. There's Ali. How you doing, Ali?
Scott,
Scott Lamont, you know Scott.
Scott, how's it going, Scott?
Yeah, decent. If you're on this chat, I don't know I presume you like whiskey. If you don't like whiskey, that's okay. You just want to hear us talk nonsense. But if you're thinking about pouring a dram, I would suggest you do so. Tell us which one you're doing.
Let us know what's it. Let us know what you're on.
If you're not on it, if you get work tomorrow, something like that, just let us know what your favourite is. But we're eager to know. We're eager to kind of build a wee community, and we're also eager to know what the community that we build, what they like, and the whiskey, like what whiskies they like, and you never know. So, like we could one day have a competition for the whiskey that you want to see on there. That's quite common.
We could maybe do some polls on that as well.
Exactly.
Get some of these. We've got loads of ideas about stuff that we can go and get. And obviously it's a lot of fun for us to go to these distilleries, as Scott touched on there. We went to Campbelltown just at the weekend there, so we obviously got a lot of good stuff there. But if anyone's like thinking Highland Park or whatever, then maybe we'll go to Orkney and get it. You know what I mean? So
we've got a few there just now. Highland Park, one or two. I think. Orkney would be good. A wee trip to Orkney.
Aye. Well, I don't know if there's much there, but
that's kind of what we want to try and do. We want to try and get a say from the community. What do you want on the website next? What do you want the opportunity to own?
Yeah.
And we'll go and get it.
Aye.
and that's kind of what we're in it for, expanding our knowledge and growth around the whiskey industry community and giving you guys or whoever else on the website what they want as well. That's essentially what it is. I've just seen in the comments, Jay, it's not Jane, it's the G-Man. Who's the G-Man?
Oh, the G-Man. Oh, yeah, it must be Graham. Yeah. In there, in the chat. Love that, G-Man.
Who's G-Man?
He did, Graham. The guy I know.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Like his whiskey?
Well...
Maybe after tonight?
I think he's like a lot of people who have got that stigmatism in their head with whiskey, where it's like they've either stolen a bottle of whiskey and stolen from family, like that whole thing where you into the grandpa's whiskey cabinet and out you come with a bottle of whiskey when you're young, let's say, and then and then you feel sick and you have be sick and then you're off whiskey for life kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that, there's loads of different reasons why people think that they don't like whiskey, and it's not until they get to a point where you say, well, isn't it just what you see? This is like people look at this colour and they think that's whiskey. Yeah. But like people would look at a really dark bottle, like even the likes of the Springbank 15. It's quite a dark, but it kind of looks like it's really amber in colour, and they might be thinking, well, what's that? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you sure that some people who might absolutely know nothing about whiskey will go, you sure that's whiskey? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. There's a lot of time where people it takes for them to do a tasting, and I know this because that was how I felt. Yeah. When it takes you to do an actual tasting and someone to guide you through it and say, this is what this cask is, this is why they use this, or so on and so forth, to actually get a.
Yeah.
So going back to the point, Graham could maybe turned. I think a couple of samples maybe coming his way. We'll see how he goes with that.
Because certainly Campbelltown just there, but everywhere we go now for the whiskey, you've got an exceptional nose. Your nose is fantastic, but
I don't mind it, man. Yeah, maybe.
But do you remember as well when we get invited to, let's say, an exclusive bar in Scotland.
Yeah.
That owned by a friend.
Yeah.
You said, and I quote, "I'll just come and try the gins."
I did say that.
I'll just come and try the gins.
Yeah.
You were into gin. You were making gin at the time. You almost launched a gin.
I nearly launched a gin.
And it was the first time I
was
going
going
for a private
gin boom.
It was the first time I was going to go for a private tasting. Well, it wasn't a real bar. One of our friends' houses got a Barney's house, and I was going quite apprehensive. Like, right, I know I'm going to have a sore head tomorrow, but I really want to try it. And you were like, "Is he getting any gin?" And he came back. You know what this guy's like.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Of course I have." And he probably didn't. He probably went out and bought 8 gins for John to try, and went in, tried one whiskey. Didn't touch a gin, did you?
No.
Loved it.
Because
you started at the right part of whiskey and ended at the right part, because that day he did a tasting of really entry level, nice vanilla sweet stuff, and kind of just touched on ale at the end, and you got that hooked you.
Yeah,
it hooked you really.
It did, and I think it's a progression thing with whiskey, and obviously people, you know, I don't mind like saying it, and it's not to sound like snobby or whatever, but people they say, I like whiskey sometimes, but the difference is they might go to Asda and just go, that one looks alright, but sometimes it does take for somebody to actually sit down with you and say, this is what you're drinking, this is the reason for this is, you know, and this is like, you know, recommendation kind of. So there's a big part of that.
Yeah. We've got Lisa Simpson is watching. Lisa Simpson's definitely in the draw.
Good, Lisa, that's good.
Francesca Vianone was watching. She's in the next room. Francesca, have you got a ticket?
Paul Brown, he's always up the top.
Paul Brown, is Paul in there?
Is Paul here? Paul's usually here.
Shout out to Paul. Like Craig as well. The guys who come back and comment, it doesn't go unmissed. No, we like that and we appreciate that. That's why I've got a little sample here for you, Craig, that you asked for. I know I was supposed to give you it last month, but trust me, it's going home with him tonight and you're getting it.
Yeah, I'll drop it through for you, Craig. I'll maybe knock your door as well.
Stephanie McConaughey, the Tomatin Distillery is the one close to me. Okay.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So on the way up to Inverness then, basically?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit naive to that one, to be honest. I know the whiskey.
It's just off the motorway.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Lovely. So, where are we now? Well, maybe have a look at who else. Maybe there's other people in here who are on the sheet. Let's have a wee look.
You want to go through the sheet?
Let's have a wee look at the sheet.
We usually not that we're laughing at anyone's name, but we usually try. It's quite funny when we're trying to pronounce some of them, but yeah, we'll go through them anyway.
Yeah. So
we can usually see some repeat offenders, as Scott said.
So tonight we're playing for the Glenfiddich Orchard Experiment, which is the bottle spinning there in front of you. But that's a cool little spin.
Yeah.
That wee thing.
Cool. Oh, that's cool, aye. Just before we get started as well here, usually, I know that we you know, we're probably, you might think we're talking about or whatever, but once we get into the draws, when the website's up and running and we've got like actual competitions on there, so Scott was talking earlier about the first 6 and so on, we'll probably, just so you know a bit of format, we'll do a bit of talking at the beginning, and once we get to this stage, we'll probably rattle through the comps.
Yeah.
At that point, won't we? So
yeah, I think once
we get solid, once
we get going, guys, this one's just one bottle, and then a bit of you and me talking about the dram that someone's going to win in a few minutes, and then maybe 1 or 2 other drams. But when we get going, we'll be doing 6 at a time. So it'll be quite intensive on the draws. Maybe do that at the start, and then we'll kind of hopefully going to try and go into kind of podcasty stuff. And
that's it.
And really, it's just to kind of touch base with you guys and just see how you're liking it, what you want to see in the future.
Yeah.
Even feedback. How could you make it better? All that kind of stuff. I mean, we're open to that, and we're really open to building a community as opposed to just right. Okay, who's won this? Who's won that? See you later. Bye. We don't want that. We're in it for the past as well.
Of course. And this one will be our first one that goes up on YouTube as well as a kind of.
That's right.
It's a kind of competition hybrid, you know, it's a draw, but it's a hybrid because we're going to talk a wee bit and stuff. So we're trying to, cross that barrier a wee bit.
Yeah. So, and if you win it, you can watch it back on YouTube 1 million times.
Of course.
Get us like some views and that.
Love that.
Right, so Glenfiddich Orchard Experiment. That's the bottle there. We've tried it. We like it. We'll talk more about it in a minute. So we've got over 100. I think it's 107, but we'll see you there.
Yeah.
So ticket number 1, we've got Scott Stevenson. Paul Brown's in there. He's a repeat offender. So anything that's in green just means you've played with us before. That's just for our reference. Nothing wrong with that.
Kerry as well. Kerry won her. I think it was Kerry that won her first one.
Kerry was her first winner, December.
Yeah.
She messaged saying she was going to try and be lucky again. Why not? Regan Fraser, Tony Welsh, Chris Green. I won't read all of these out because there's over 100, but you can probably see yourself on the screen there. Who else have we got? We got Tracy. We got Martin Lambert. A new guy in Matty Wilson.
Craig Maxwell.
Craig Maxwell's in there. He's in the chat just now. Say hello, Craig. We've got quite a few that are playing inside. Kathleen Fife, I seen Kathleen Fife in the chat. Are you still there, Kathleen? That's your number there, 16. Dan Doherty, we spoke about Dan last time.
Dan,
he's the bar guy at Porton Rye.
Yeah.
We've got Stephen Dunny-Pace. We've got Gary Pintle-Jones. Quite a lot of people revisiting. We love that. That's superb.
Yeah, that's good.
New people in here. Paul McHugh, Scott Stevens, Melvin Harris, Mandy Rodriguez, that's a cool name. Stephanie McConaughey, I can see you there, that's you that lives next to Tomatin. Good. McCallum, as long as they didn't give me their actual name, but that's fine. We've got a few in there. Stephen Kirkwood's in again. We've got Hannah Young, we met Hannah. We went to Campbelltown the weekend there.
Hannah's she's the Glen Scotia shop or distillery visitor
centre manager.
I said that the wrong way around, but yeah.
Yeah, she gave us a nice little tasting actually. We'll discuss that a wee bit later on.
Yeah.
That was good. We've got Andrew Reid, we've got the Whisky Gator, he doesn't like giving his name, but that's okay, no problem. We're okay with that. David Guerrero, you're in the chat. How's it going, David?
Ryan Bailey.
Okay, we've got Ryan Bailey, Marcus Zimmerman, Lisa Simpson, you were in there. Dougie Walsh is in there, Ricky Young, Samantha Harrington, I've just seen you've joined the chat. How are you, Samantha?
How's it going, Samantha?
Yeah, good to see you. We've got Kevin Miller, Lisa Dobie, Steve McClellan, Amanda Jacklin, we've got Ian Hume, Linda Ogram.
Like the way you pronounce that there,
I know, sorry, I don't know.
Bourbon and Sold, I don't know
no, that's just...
it must be a name change.
To be honest, if people don't want to give their names, you just want to track them down, that's fine.
Don't worry, we understand.
We don't mind that, we're not against that. Data.
Maybe different when the website's up and running, of course. You obviously going to have to provide your correct name, but
we've got Bev Jones, we've got Anne Lilly, Robert Taylor, Jack Muir's in there. Jack was watching. How you doing, Robert?
Let's go, Jack.
How you doing, Jack? Robert's
David Crawford.
Well. David Crawford. We had two players there with the same name but they're different accounts. Martin, we've got Chris, and we've got Jackie.
I think we're still going
on. Yeah, Jackie questions in there. Okay, we've got more.
Yeah.
Karen Foy, 97, Naomi Shaw, Brian Forbes, Martin Gaminal, Chris Rain, Michael Hutchison, as in DJ Hutchie.
Is it? Hutchie, nice one.
Yeah.
Big Cause DJ.
Yeah, Chris Rainey, Gary White and Maria. I'll just say Maria for now.
Yeah.
So we've got 107 in there. So again, before we go to draw this, thanks very much, guys. That's superb.
That's a good.
Again, we're pre-website launch. We're just kind of doing this a little bit off the cuff just now. We're trying to improve. We're trying to do everything right, get everything solid before we launch the
actual
proper
website,
official
and the
stuff. So I mean, so far so good. So to get 107 is fantastic. So we're grateful for that. So we've got number 1 to number 107. Right, okay. So what do you think? We'll straight on draw it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Right, okay. There's Samantha saying, "Hey guys, Gary Goose watching as well. How you doing, Gary?" Right,
so for the spin,
we're using the normal thing that we used last time. It's the number picker wheel. So we've got a minimum of 1. We've got a maximum of 107. The input method is just by range. That's fine. And result type is just 1. So nobody wants an espresso pod. So let's go back up. Right, you ready to play? They want the whiskey. They don't want the espresso.
No one wants that, do they? Unless you're having an Irish coffee.
Although Francesca's still watching, she might want an espresso pod instead. Oh, we've got Wendy Stewart watching. She's got a ticket in this. Wendy, we've just went through the numbers, but I'm sure you know your numbers. We gave it to you when we gave you out your message. So, everybody ready? You ready?
Yes, ready, course.
There you go. Spin it.
Always ready.
Okay, here we go. Cheers. You've finished.
I've finished already, yeah. 99, high number.
99, a high one. 99.
That is high. What was the last one? 34 or 64? I think it was 34 or 64. I can't remember. It was one of the two of them.
Number 99. So tell me what we do this.
If you're there, Harry, in the chat, let me know your number from last time. I think 34 or 64.
Somebody know what?
99. Who's 99? 99 is
Sue Scott.
Sue Scott, number 99.
Sue Scott. Okay, Sue. Again, not quite sure where you're from.
Highlight in yellow so you know we can see.
That's a PDF. So
okay. Oh, you can.
Sue Scott, 99. We've actually got little subtitles on our Facebook thing here, which is quite cool, so you can see.
Oh, nice.
Again, last time when Harry won, I kind of won by saying I'll deliver this to you personally. But again, Sue, if you're within, I don't know, 50 miles of Glasgow or something like that, again, we'll deliver it personally to you. If not, don't worry about it. We'll get it sent down in one of our nice wee boxes here, and we'll get that to you. So, Sue, you've won the Glenfiddich Orchard Experiment, which is experimental series number 5. Yeah, fantastic bottle. We'll get that packaged up for you. In fact, we'll do it right now. John, you stick that in the box. Stick that in the box for
Make
Sue.
sure you don't drop it.
And I'll just do that. That's another one, but that's ours. So
that's our one for dry.
So well done, Sue.
Well done, Sue. That's good.
We'll
another winner there.
We'll be in touch.
If you do watch the drawback, or you're watching just now and maybe you're not comfortable commenting or whatever, if you could get us a photo, that would be great. If not, it's fine, but it does really help us out, being able to showcase the winners and stuff. So yeah, we'd greatly appreciate that. Yeah, once we get the bottle to you, we'll make contact on. I think you were an Instagram enterer. So you're an Instagram person, so we will message you on that, get your address, send it down to you. Once it's there, get a wee selfie with it when you have a wee dram, and we will eventually put it on our website when we get going. Yeah. Or at least put it on our socials. Again, if you're comfortable with that. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Okay, so that was a live draw, so we're going to stay on, talk a little bit about this bottle here. Actually, we haven't really, we were about to start doing tasting and all that stuff on this, but we decided just to get into the draw. Yeah. So, best way for it. Again, so I don't know if people are still maybe watching that didn't win. Now they're going to see us saying, "Oh, this is delicious." Yeah, maybe it is nice. Raging. But I mean, again, if anyone's in the Glasgow area, I'm kind of pushing it out here again. If anyone's in the Glasgow area and didn't win, and would like to try this from this very bottle, send us a message or comment on here. We've got some sample bottles. We can send samples, no problem. We can deliver samples if you're within touching distance of us in Glasgow here. Yeah. Glasgow in the west, let's say. Yeah. And we're quite happy to do that, just to share with all of the community, even if you didn't win. Yeah. No problem for that. So hopefully someone will take it. A few people might take us up on that. I think we've already got a few takers though. We've got a few takers here. These are already reserved for some of our people. Yeah. So if you want a wee dram of that and you're not too far away from it, just ping us a message. And if you think you are too far away and you want to just chance it, then send us a message anyway, and maybe I'll feel lucky and drive it to you. Of course. Right, so what do you think about it? It's nice. Cheers. It is nice. I mean, it's another draw. Cheers. It is a nice dram. Obviously, it's probably first or second full bourbon to begin with. Obviously, colour, taste, smell, but yeah, it's nice. You can get a wee flavour for the cider, a wee bit of apple. I mean, it's no majorly apple, and I know people say apple and so on, but it's there. It is there a wee bit. Yeah, it is, and there's almost like that kind of, I don't want to say slight vinegary smell, but there's a wee bit of that there as well. A very slight hint of that. You mean like sort of cidery vinegar, yeah. Like almost like you would get in a wash when they're in the distillery or whatever. You know, get that beer hit, a wee bit of that vinegary hit. Okay. I get a wee bit of that. I don't know if you get that. I get that. No, that we're here for nosing, but no, we're not crazy. It is nice. The big nose. It is a nice whiskey, and it's tell you what, it's easy to drink, isn't it? So like when we went up to the distillery at Glenfiddich, I done a tasting there. I didn't do the tour. Right. We done like a warehouse thing, and it was obviously you could. The nice thing about it as well was the staff there. Like they were. Like obviously I was with my wife at the time. No, my wife at the time. My wife just now. Wife now. Yeah, my wife now. And and we were there for a few tours up at Speyside, and I said, look, it's just going to be me doing it. He said, no, don't worry, she can come along. So the staff were absolutely brilliant. They took us into the warehouse. Obviously we weren't taking the drinks and the drams right out of the cask, but we were able to pick, so you could, it was just me at that time, and so we were able to pick, which ones we wanted. So nice. I picked a couple of the experimental ones. I can't remember the ones that were at the time. It was like the double X or
Yeah. And that was the 20.
Yeah.
It's XX, it's Roman numerals.
And then you kind of got like a pick between. It wasn't a pick, but you could say like you're going to take a high end one or 27 or something. But the 27-year-old was fantastic, or was it 25 or 27-year-old? Can't remember exactly, but. Yeah, fantastic. And they've got a special room where you sit and whatever else, a big table and that. Really, really nice. And so, great place. Fantastic whiskies.
I mean, it's one of the ones that one of the few ones that you've been to and I've not. Usually we go together.
Yeah.
So, like, when you go there, I mean, is it like a gated entrance, kind of like Macallan? You have to walk down. It's not intimidating. It's quite open, friendly.
Sure.
It's a big place.
It's massive. It's mainly made up of warehouses, and obviously the land then extends down that part of Dufton into Balvenie, and so I think I'm assuming they just own that whole section of land, the whole bit there. So yeah, I mean, as you come in, you get the sort of visitor centre on the right, and then the kind of main warehouse number 1 on the left there. Okay. And so kind of done a wee tour of that. Yeah. But obviously the whole history of maturation and how finishing a cask and stuff really does stem from Balvenie, Glenfiddich. Obviously Balvenie and Glenfiddich they're owned by the same brand, the same company or the same family kind of run business. And
go on.
What you call it? It was kind of David Stewart who was the master blender, still is there, the master blender. It was him that actually done the first ever finishing of a whiskey.
Okay.
I believe it was in the 80s or so.
Wow.
And it was, they had a bourbon whiskey that was in there for maybe 10 or 12 years, and then he decided, well, I'm going to put it into an Oloroso cask and finish it off in there, and that was, Balvenie Doublewood was the first finishing whiskey that was ever known to be, it was a huge thing, so
twice.
Back then.
Wow.
So interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And then you sort of had Bricklady kind of following on for there, doing a bit of, Jim McEwen and the other guy, I can't quite mind his name now, but they were kind of doing a lot of, that guy had came from a sort of wine background, and they started, well, if David Stewart's kind of doing, he's finishing stuff.
He's experimenting.
And everybody at that time had bourbon and sherry casks, but access to other types of casks like wine casks and other different types of sherry was easily enough there for these big distilleries. So interesting.
And all those years ago they were still kind of doing experimental series, but not saying it.
But not well.
And that's where it all comes from today. Like
that's it. I mean, you could say it was trailblazing in the days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like really.
I listened to that as well. That like Glenfiddich, Balvenie, these kind of guys, like you just said, started that kind of thing. And but you see it a lot now. Like see the new boys that are coming through.
Yeah,
like your Clydeside, your Glasgow, and all this. Glasgow are doing a beer cask finish.
Exactly.
They did a Tokaj, which is a Hungarian dessert wine.
Yeah.
Their Clydeside, I think, are doing something like that in one of their new ranges as well. I think they tried something at the festival, which was a different kind of cask as well.
Yeah.
Like something that you wouldn't normally see.
I can't quite mind what that is.
I think it's kind of, with like the younger generation of people coming through, like us and like everybody who's watching this draw tonight, young and old, it fits. And I think a lot of people as well are looking at whiskies like doing highballs and cocktails and all that kind of stuff. I'm not against that.
It makes it more interesting as well, because I remember like probably 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, like obviously to us just getting into whiskey maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, like the sort of rum cask and port and they kind of things, like that was just kind of something that I was, we were kind of getting used to, that this is a thing. And Deanston are quite big. Deanston and Bunnahabhain are quite close. I think they're within the same group, so they Muscat share the same types of casks and stuff, and the whole port and whatever else is really popular in Deanston whiskey. It's quite popular, but sometimes popular in Bunnahabhain, but I've seen it more in Deanston, and some of the stuff that's coming out of there is amazing.
Yeah, you
really,
love
really good. I love Dean's Thing. It's brilliant.
Because they started off, it was like a Bordeaux red wine.
Bordeaux red wine, and then they do the port pipe. They do port finish.
The distiller exclusive, the one that you've got.
The one that's there. I think it's a 17-year-old, and that was. I don't think it was in port for too long.
Finished? Is that a?
Yeah, it's a port finish. Port finish, and that was in there for. I think it was maybe a year or year and a half. I can't remember exactly the time, but it's a short time. But they're using that as first fill. The ports came straight out of that, and then the whiskey goes right in. It's not been used once or twice. It's a first fill port cask. So it's really interesting, and the more you get into the maceration and the wood types that the guy, the master blenders and the distillery managers are, the wood policy, it's becoming, it gets you interested, and you start getting into it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm just looking. There's a couple more people coming in. We have done the live draw, but I'm not sure if any of these people were in it. They're just coming in for a wee jolly. Ryan Russell's in. Rusty, how you doing? Jordan Laidlaw.
Hi Jordan.
Alistair Hughes, how you doing, Shugs? Martin Lambert's here. Martin was in the draw, just missed the live draw there, Martin. Unfortunately didn't win. Sue Scott won.
Sue Scott, yep,
Sue
if you're in there, if you're watching, Sue.
Yep, I don't know where you live, but hopefully we can deliver the bottle to you personally. If not, like we said before, we'll get it posted out to you.
Can I aim to get everything posted, and this will be kind of, as we move into the website as well, within a week we'll get it,
absolutely,
to someone.
Yeah,
you don't want to be waiting too long, obviously, on your prize.
Aye, no, absolutely. So, talking about experimental stuff, Glenfiddich. Oh well, because I'm going to do it here.
What?
The experimental stuff.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Oh, no.
Experimental stuff, the fruity kind of flavours and all that kind of stuff. That makes people want to make cocktails out of whiskey.
Right.
Which you're okay with?
Aye.
I'm okay with it as
I
well.
guess so.
And
it depends, because what are you going to say?
No, I was just about to go to say that it's my birthday the other week,
right.
And my family chipped in, and Francesca took me to the Johnny Walker Experience in Edinburgh, and I know what you're going to say at the start. Oh, it's Johnny Walker, it's blend, it's not Glenfiddich, it's not McKellen, it's not all this, that. But that tour was amazing.
Is it quite eye-opening?
It's amazing. You go in the shop. I mean, Edinburgh's quite plush at the start anyway. But you go in and they take you up a floor, 5 floors. I won't give too much away just in case, but you go around and it's fantastic.
I didn't know the floors
and they don't necessarily, like when you go for a whiskey tour, they just give you a neat dram at the end, or one in the middle, one at the end, and that's what they encourage. It's the opposite there. They give you a highball, so highballs, whiskey and soda, but they give you, before you go to Johnny Walker, you need to put out a thing online that defines your flavour profile. Right. So then you go, and then that defines how your tour goes. Your tour's still the same way, but it defines what kind of drinks you're drinking.
Yeah, so it's more like an experience, isn't it?
That's what it's called, the experience.
It's an experience, aye.
So you go there, but instead of giving you these wee drams neat, they give you highballs with soda and different different garnishes, stuff like that, kind of like the gin used to be when you were doing the gin,
Yeah.
And mate, it's great. It's great. Yeah. But I went round, done the tour, done all that, went down the stairs and bought a bottle.
Aye.
Bought a bottle of Blue Label, which is serious stuff, mate. Like, although it's a blended whiskey,
the Blue Label's up there, aye.
I think the Blue Label, somebody might quote me wrong on this, but the Blue Label is made up of it's a blended whiskey.
Aye.
But remember, Diageo, Johnny Walker, the same people, so you get access to a lot of serious stuff.
Aye.
But there's nothing younger than 28-year-old goes into Blue Label. 28-year-old.
Yeah.
And they've got loads of, Diageo, they own a lot of the top quality places.
Of course.
So
it's like the top,
the
big six or whatever.
Why would it not be good?
Yeah.
And I'm going to take you. I'm going to convert you.
Aye. No, it's not.
You need to experience it.
I do. It's just one of the ones where I think I've probably went through that same thing that I was no quoting earlier on, but like where you have this stigmatism stuck to your head where it's like whiskey this and you associate it with whatever label and so on, black label, blue label, and you stick to that. But no, as you get into whiskey and you start like researching stuff and whatever else, Johnny Walker was like a pioneer back in the day where people were saying, oh well, he really kind of was the person that took whiskey from Scotland and the UK to the masses.
Yes,
really, because he was almost like done what McDonald's done for like the fast food thing, where like he industrialised it, and he said, right, well, I'm going to like put 1,000 labels on every 10 minutes, you know what I mean, and people were like hand stuff and hand bottling. He was doing it. He was automating the whisky industry. And it was them who really done that. So I guess it's not that, it's just the whisky sometimes.
Well, I take it. Will we go?
We'll go. But like, I do respect the brand, and obviously they've done a lot for.
I don't know if anyone in here or still in here has been to the Johnnie Walker Experience. Again, let us know. Do you think it was good? Do you think it was rubbish? It's not rubbish. So
do you want to talk about this, or should we leave that
for well, just before we do that, I was going to go on. I mean, we said earlier about the Glenfiddich stuff. So this is a Glenfiddich 12-year-old. Francesca got me this just as a wee present. And again, this is a great whisky. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And again,
it is nice, isn't it?
People see this and they think, oh, it's the green Glenfiddich, the one you can get in Asda, the one you can get in Tesco, the one you get in a bar, all this kind of stuff. Yes, it's true. But it's, look at the colour, it's lovely. It's consistently brilliant. So for anyone...
So that's Oloroso and bourbon.
Yeah.
It's not quite double cast, but I think it's just matured.
No, but I listened to a podcast the other day, and did you know that Glenfiddich, 12-year-old,
in mellowing and oak marrying tons.
What is that? I don't know.
I'm going to read into what that is.
Yeah. But, no, just going back to that though. You know that Glenfiddich, every year, I don't know what award ceremony it is, but at a certain award ceremony, Glenfiddich wins or comes very, very close to winning a blind tasting for 13 years and younger Speyside.
Yeah.
So but that covers a hell of a lot of distilleries.
Yeah.
And everyone does a 12-year-old.
It's like 50 or 60.
So, and a blind tasting, remember, so they don't see the green bottle, they don't see what it is. Blind tasting, close your eyes. This consistently comes out at the top or close to the top because it's high quality. It is. It's really good.
It is nice.
It's really, really nice.
It is typical Spey, but it's lovely.
Aye. It's kind of... I know
it's got that kind of light, florally, fruity. I know everyone says the same descriptions, right? I know, but it is that same kind of smells, you know. Seeing you get a nose of it, it is kind of floral, kind of fruity smells.
But it's lighter tasting than the orchard. The orchard, drinking that after the orchard, you can really taste or remember the apple punch.
What's percentage is that?
43, I think.
43. Is it? As high as that?
Maybe it's 40 actually. Tell you on the bottle. Yeah, sorry, this one's 40 and that one's 43. So maybe that's it's the extra punch that's given it.
Uncoloured, non-chill filtered. Aye, thought that.
But no, I really like it.
No, it's nice. It's nice. It's light. It's accessible to someone who maybe doesn't like, you know.
Well, this is the thing. Actually,
new to whiskey or whatever.
I should have said that. Mr. Weir said to you, Jay, if you want to convert me, bring a sample next week and talk me through it. So you can take him a sample of the Orchard and take him a sample of Glenfiddich 12 and whatever you want really.
Yeah. No problem.
And what do you call him? G-Man? G-Man, you will be converted.
Graham, his name is.
Oh, Graham. G-Man.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Loves the G-Man.
But no, he'll like that. He will like that.
Aye, I mean that's what I mean. It's accessible, and again, people get put off. They do. They get put off with certain, you know, smell and whiskey and whatever else. I know we're kind of stickling on this point, but aye, you know, just like open your mind to it a wee bit and just try it, and you know, like before you buy something, maybe say, right, what's the whiskies that I can get into? These are probably going to be the first ones that pop. Now, maybe not so much the Orchard one because it's quite different, and you know they're experiment a wee bit with different casts and stuff. But you know, top 10 selling, you know, for single malts, you know, Google something like that, and you're going to get some interesting results. And then if you take a wee bit of time and dig into that a bit further, you might get some, you know, single cask options, some cask strength options where that's really going to open up your palate to some really different stuff, because that's obviously 40%, you know, cask strength stuff you could be getting
60 almost.
You'd be getting up to a higher strength, and in my opinion, the more you get into whiskey and the more you get, you know, a flavour and a taste for it, the cask strength stuff is really where it's at, because you've got both ways of the spectrum. So see we like 40%. If we put some water in that, it's going to dilute the ABV to a lower percentage. So you're only you can only go down the way, right? But if you buy something that's high ABV, you can water that down and still have it at 40%.
Sure. 40,
do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Yeah. So it's an accessible percentage, but if you buy something at cask, you can water it down and dance around it a wee bit.
Totally, but for the sake of your friend who wants to get into whiskey, Glenfiddich 12 is a great starting point.
Yeah,
fantastic starting point. And it's accessible, it's affordable. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Few more come in there actually just to see us. Alan Kennedy, Samantha Skilling, and Lee Gibson. Wee Gibby's there.
How's it going, Alan? Alan Kennedy as well.
Gibby's quite partial to a dram. I think Kennedy is as well. Samantha, let us know if you're partial to a dram, and if so, what's your favourite one?
Alan, actually, I think Alan still works up at Shivers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's involved in whiskey somehow.
In the industry.
Aye, good.
Class. Gibby likes a wee bit of a dram now and again. He's came to the Scotch Malt Whisky Society with us a couple of times, and he's totally open to it. So like he maybe know so much his thing, like I'm going to get a bottle of whiskey and sit with a dram tonight, but we'll be like try something like this and it's kind of high quality whiskey. You'll be like, love that, nice. No, there's not as many people who are.
Gibby, if you're there, let us know. What's the best dram you've ever tried? You're probably right in something abusive there now.
Aye. But that's good.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, obviously this theme, and there's Brian Doherty as well. How you doing, Brian? So yeah, the theme of tonight's obviously Glenfiddich. I've got a couple of wee points here, like Glenfiddich. What was it? The attitude. And did you know that?
What did you say?
Gibby just texted. Aye, the orange peel, smashing.
Aye, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going doing the leather seats for it.
No, we won't do that. It's a lovely shiny label. So no, the last point I had at Glenfiddich, which I thought was cool, and I presume this happens out with Glenfiddich as well, because did you know that at the cooperage they've got, which I think is in Girvan, or it's not in. They've got one in Speyside, one they've got something else down in Girvan. Something I was listening to, but so the Speyside cooperage is the main one. Do you know that they use dogs? They use dogs to smell out bad casks.
Do they?
So a dog.
Don't know that.
So they've got a couple of dogs.
Dogs or cats?
I can't remember their names. It's dogs. There's dogs.
Okay. Was it cats they had at the distillery? Where's it? They had a cat at some sort of distillery. I don't know where this is. Glenturret, they've got cats. There's a famous cat at Glenturret. Yeah.
It probably just lives in the ground, but the dogs have got a job. The dogs sniff out dodgy casks.
Oofed.
And Mark Thompson, the ambassador for Glenfiddich.
Are they like?
He was saying a story about this. That's saying that because their nose is so good, they smell bad smells in casks and they kind of shun them off. And Glenfiddich won't use the cask if the dog says don't do it. Seriously, that's a thing.
Good stuff. That's
Grant, there you go. Grant's Girvan is the dog smell, and Ali Fagan knows all about it. So
nice one, Ali. Love that.
Ali, thank the Lord there. John was looking at me as if I was talking absolute minister.
I thought he meant cats, and I was kind of like,
It's a wee spaniel they use. There you go.
There you go. That's something I didn't know. Aye, decent.
There you go. So Ali, is that right? Did I get that right? That they smell out a bad cask or they smell out a good cask? I think they get smells and they kind of shun away bad casks. That's what I got from it, which makes more sense.
That makes sense.
Aye. Dog something.
Love that.
Right. So last we'll drink and talk about the 12, and then you can get into this because this is quite funny. I don't really know. This is.
We will not spend too much time on it because it's quite funny. Aye.
Because smell out bad casks. Well done, Ali. Nice one. Cheers for that, Ali. Dug me a hole there.
No, it's nice. I quite like it. We should probably have a wee bit of water, but we'll get that for next time, right? We'll take note of that.
You want me to go and get some water?
No, it's fine.
Okay. What about tenants?
I've been using that as well. So, do you want to talk about this? We've touched on this
in a minute. So,
right, okay.
Well, there's Paul Brown coming in now. Paul, I don't know if you were watching earlier. I know you're an avid watcher. Again, appreciate you watching. Appreciate everyone who's kind of coming back, being loyal. We're just starting off. It's great to see people coming in. Hope we're all well. Yeah, hope you're well as well, Paul. Just to let you know, we've done the draw already, but we're just sitting here talking about Glenfiddich in general and a few other things about whiskey. Sue Scott was the winner of the draw. Paul, number 99 was it?
Number 99, I think it was 99.
Sue Scott was the winner, but feel free to stay here, Paul, and have a chat about whiskey. We've just been talking about Glenfiddich and how the cooperage in Girvan uses dogs to sniff out bad casks, and Ali has thrown me a bone, thrown me a bone, and verified that I wasn't talking nonsense. So anyway, as you guys get to know us, you get to know John more, and John has got this thing. He's just obsessive over things, right? It's in a good way, a very, very good way. And he's done something with some kind of whiskey. I mean, I should let you tell the story. It was something to do with a Saturday night sitting and drinking drams or something. How did this come about?
Yeah, so I'll explain it.
Right.
So basically, the story begins. But so we went up for a weekend up to Pitlochry, right? And we went up for that. So I said, obviously, I was like, as soon as we get up here, instead of going to the hotel, we'll just go straight to Blair Athol.
As you do.
As you do, right? So I'm getting there, right? I'll go to the dram bar, drink as many drams as...
Get Caitlin to drive, and
so I've got a driver, you know what I mean? Got that. So that's fine. So we goes in there, I had a good few drams. I went through a few, maybe 2 or 3. Obviously, we're going for dinner that night, so I didn't really want to, go too mad. And then we goes into the shop, and it was obviously their own. I think it's Blair Athol owned by Diageo because of bells and so on. So
I knew it's bells, but is it linked?
I'm sure it's linked to Diageo. If not, then I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, but someone else.
Ali will tell us, don't worry.
Ali will tell us. Ali will fix us in the comments. But so I end up getting the
just. Paul Brown says, looks like you've been nailing our prize. Paul, that's the second bottle. We do
good spot for that.
We do have another one here that's going out.
We usually try and do that, so we can sample the product.
That's bad advertising. Just to verify that we're not tearing out the prize.
Well, we kind of are, but not in an indirect way.
Well noticed, Paul.
So
we'll try not to keep tearing it. Anyway, carry on.
So Blair Athol, we're in there, so we end up picking up the distillery exclusive, and it was 48%, first fill bourbon, and it was in, I can't mind the years, but I think it would end up, it was in there for like 13 years, really odd kind of years range. So 48%, quite high, strength. So nailed through a wee bit of that, maybe took the neck out it, something like that, and then maybe drank a wee bit more over the course of a wee while. And then and the next day I was trying to go to Edredour, which is just kind of down the road. This was a Saturday, and that was shut.
Okay.
So I was a bit raging because they're small distillery, they do all their own stuff, they're no part of a big group or anything, so I was quite interested in going there, but it was shut. So I ended up going to somewhere down local, so that was somewhere, I ended up picking up a bottle of 10-year-old Edredour. So I had maybe the half of that over the course of a few weeks. I'm not drinking these one night, but
yeah.
So the two of them, I was kind of thinking like.
So did you get the Edredour from not the distillery because it was closed?
Yeah.
You get it from...
Got it from local, Antarctic, that was it, I got it from there.
Because we got a couple of people in here from your area.
Yeah.
If you're looking for somewhere, Antarctic's got
a great selection of whiskey actually. We would talk about that on our show. Brilliant, man. Really good selection. So I got that for there, drank maybe a third of that out of that, and then I was kind of thinking myself, these two are like miles apart. This one's like Oloroso 10-year-old finish, Oloroso only. This one's first fill bourbon, 13, 14 maybe age-year-old, and the Edredour maybe was 40% and just didn't quite have enough oomph.
Could
you know what I mean? But it was sherry, right? But it was sherry cask. So I thought it's a lovely sherry cask, but it's just 40%. It's not quite giving me that hit I need.
So I know what's happening here.
So I've just binged the.
So your Edredour, you were getting nice sherry notes, but not getting enough kick.
Yeah.
And the Blair Athol was bourbony but kicky.
Bourbony but kicky, and I thought, right, I'm going to put the kicky in the
Oloroso. To get the kick out of the Oloroso.
Of course, so I just mixed the two of them together. I put it in the Edredour bottle because...
So hold on a minute, so you've made the Johnny Walker.
I've kind of made a Johnny Walker. So I guess you could say that.
So you like it.
So I do, So obviously I was thinking, this is a really great job that these master blenders have. So I've mixed the two of them together, and when I tried it, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. You know what I mean? It's really nice. So I was buzzing with that. So
let's try it then. Let's try it. Anyone who's just joined, I know Paul Brown's just joined. There's Neil Bartlett in as well. Sam Gibson's just joined. Before you guys joined, I was telling them that for my birthday I went to a lovely trip to the Johnny Walker Experience on Princess Street, and I can't get John to buy into it because it's a blended whiskey and it's not this, it's not that, which I'm going to change that for him because I'm going to take him there. It might cost me a few quid to take him there, but and then essentially what he's done is
blended a whiskey.
You've blended a whiskey and made a Johnny Walker. It's
a Highland blend from
nice colour.
It's nice colour. So obviously it's 10-year-old Edredure Oloroso cask and a Blair Athol distillery exclusive 48%.
So this technically this is a whiskey that maybe no one's ever tried.
Well, no, they haven't. And the thing is as well, it's from the exact same area. So these distilleries are miles apart.
Let's just before you elaborate, let's just cheers to Neil's. Neil's come in and just said you've made me open a bottle of 15. We're not here to make people want to drink.
No,
but,
please drink responsibly. Anyway.
Cheers, Neil.
Get a nose. Don't try right away, right? See what you think. So it's got bourbon sherry hits, and see when I made this, I'm like that is. I didn't make it, but you know what I mean. I mixed it together. I didn't it's not like any kind of science experiment in my kitchen, but it's
quite.
What do you think?
Is
it terrible?
No. I can definitely smell. You know when one's a bit strong, you can smell when it's a strong one.
Yeah. So remember you said that you had the Edredure 10 not that long ago.
Loved it. But it was a wee bit. I would never ever slag off any whiskey from any distillery.
Me neither.
Did you think it maybe didn't lack flavour, but was a tiny wee bit flat because of the percentage?
I think it was just the coincidence where I'd went to Blair Athol. I was dying to go to Edredure because I was in the same area, so I just hit the two at one time, right?
Yeah.
So I just had that thing where I just felt like it would be a cool combination kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I never got to Edredure, and then I kind of one night I was just like I was looking and I was pouring myself in Edredure, and I was kind of like, and there was the Blair Athol was sitting with like this much in it, and I was like, I'm looking at that bottle, there's this much in it, and I go, I couldn't go here. I went there, and that was the reason why I bought that bottle. Was because I was like, I'd never got to go to the distillery because it was shut at the time. So I thought, I'll buy a bottle of Edredure, drink that. Yeah. But when I seen that, I was like, the story came back in my head, so I just decided to put that into that, and I think it's a great result.
It smells quite strong, but
and I think to me you can taste the both.
Aye.
It's good, isn't it?
It's alright, by the way.
Isn't it?
Aye.
It's mad.
Oh, aye. It's yeah, you can get the sherry, because I've tried Blair Athol loads of times, and I think it does taste quite alcohol-y and quite, not bland, but you would never get that kind of flavour from.
No, because they don't use a lot of sherry
exactly.
Blair Athol. I would go as far as
they use more virgin oak or bourbon and stuff like.
Aye, I think they
toy more. I've tried that much yet, but it's always been from like Blair Athol seems to end up in a lot of independent bottles, doesn't it?
Independent bottles, and I think it ends up in a lot of blends because Bell's in it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Aye.
So it's
probably tried loads of it.
Yeah. Yes. Probably have.
But that does give it a wee sherry edge.
It does, and I think I probably don't get the mix 100% right, but I think we'll maybe try and, we don't need to sit.
We're going to make this a feature that.
We could do like
a
wee blending thing. Well, why not?
Johnny Lang.
I think for me it was like it'd be a cool idea. Obviously, people take like certain regions and they go, right, I'm going to use this and I'm going to use that and I'm going to use that, and that's fair enough. But I think it'd be a cool idea if you done like maybe 3 or 4 bottles from the same region, and then start to say, right, how can I make that into something different? And try and make them so they're at different ends of the spectrum.
I think as well though,
sherry maybe or something.
Remember when we went to Glengoyne? And we did that,
yeah.
but with Glengoyne, so therefore it's still a single malt because it's all from Glengoyne.
So a single malt, exactly.
But experimenting with different distilleries isn't always a bad thing.
No, well that's it. You could call it a single malt region.
No, you can't.
I know you can't, but you know what I mean. It's a blended single.
It's Johnny Walker.
Blended single malt region. No, look it. It's a Johnny Walker. It's not really a Johnny Walker.
Listen, I'm going to take you to Johnny Walker. Neil Bartlett's watching. I'm sure he would like to go to Johnny Walker with us as well. Neil's a good friend of ours. How are you getting on with that 15? What bottle of the 15? I take it you mean Glenfiddich, Neil. Leave us a wee comment. The Glenfiddich 15, the Solera one is delicious.
Yeah.
It's dangerously delicious.
Yeah. Stephen's got a few bottles of that as well, so.
Aye, but he's got a few of them as well. Aye.
Good stuff.
No, I mean this is nice.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Aye.
It's a good wee change. It'd be good. I should have probably brought along a couple of samples of. Well, I can't bring the Blair Athol because it's all in that bottle, but I could bring you along the Edradour and you can taste. Well, no, I can't.
So did you pour the Edradour into the Blair Athol or the Blair Athol into the Edradour?
No, I put the Edradour into the Blair Athol into the Edradour.
Why? Because the Edradour's a nicer bottle.
Because I had more
of the other one.
The Edradour. So it could be open to a bit of change. But anyway, just an idea. It's quite cool.
Paul Brown's saying I'd be happy to visit any distillery blended or not. Yeah, I agree with that, Paul. Like I was a wee bit not against it, but I keep going back to this Johnny Walker thing. Like it's
well, you could Douglas Lane. Some of the Douglas Lane stuff's absolutely brilliant.
When you go, what's
that one with the dog in the front?
Copper Dog?
No,
Scallywag.
That's a brilliant dram.
Yeah, it's lovely. So there you go. So you like it?
I do like it.
Aye. Neil saying the Valley of the Deer. Valley of the Deer. That's what Glenfiddich means.
Yeah.
And yeah, the 15 Solera. Neil knows his whiskies.
Neil likes Glenfiddich.
Neil likes all whiskies. He won't mind me saying that. But no, Neil's got a good nose for it, a good taste for it. Ronnie Blair's watching. How we doing, Ronnie? I think I'll you a game of golf, Ronnie. Down at Cardress. Or I think it's a 10-man event. We'll soon find that out. But that's a different video. See how that goes. But yeah, no, your blend's quite nice, John.
You like it?
It's not bad.
Good
it's not
stuff.
bad. Now, I had another wee quick thing I was going to discuss. I know we've not done this. Single malt. We touched on single malt.
Yeah.
Glenfiddich, obviously. Because that's the flavour of the month. We've touched on your blend.
Yeah.
We've touched on all that stuff. So, single malt blends. What about?
Yeah.
Single grain.
Grain.
What do you think about grain whiskey?
I'll be honest. I've never tried grain whiskey.
Have you tried Hay Club?
Yeah, but I don't count that. I wouldn't count.
Right. Have you tried grain whiskey from a malt distiller?
No.
Right. So, again.
You going to try this?
What do you think of that? So
I did see that you got this. It's interesting.
I got this. And the thing is, like, we're over here doing all this. We've got Springbank, we've got Lagavulin and Glenfiddich, all this kind of stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean that everything that we are doing, we're tasting, we're putting on our giveaways is overly expensive. This little thing here, Loch Lomond Distillery is kind of close to our heart because it's where we grew up, really. Like, you still live down there, your mum and dad stay very, very close to it.
Yeah.
It's right next to where we grew up. So Loch Lomond Distillery is naturally like one of our favourites. So this bottle here, guess how much it cost?
Tell me.
28 quid.
28 quid?
28 quid.
Jeez, oh.
Right?
Is it a year statement on it or not?
No, it's a grain whiskey. So great. As far as I'm led to believe, grain whiskey you can make very fast.
Aye.
I don't know. You can't quite make it as fast as like your gins and all that kind of
stuff.
Well,
it's match fast. What do you mean by fast?
Well,
like it's
grain's something that I'm saying to you because
I don't idea.
If I'm an expert, I'm not an expert, but from what I was told when I went down to buy this, 'cause I bought this at the same place you bought it at, Antartex Village, which is right next to Loch Lomond Distillery.
Of course.
And they told me to get this. They make it very fast. They bring it all the time.
So maybe when they say fast, it must mean like they mature it to like close to or near enough the minimum age.
Yes.
So it might be like.
Well, you see when you pour it, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
So I'll.
So that's must be. I mean, like it's no. That's why there's no age statement because a lot of the Loch Lomond ones.
No, it's very fast. But
it's very fast.
Very fast. But
rapid whiskey.
But I'm just. There you go. So it's light in colour. But grain whiskey, any grain I've tried, has been kind of light.
Yeah.
Easy to drink.
Floral.
Again, could be in a cocktail, could be in a highball, could be in a I don't know. I think it's quite. I like the term that Posh Scots used. Smashable.
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 Yeah. Cheers. But If anyone,
it's definitely young because you've got a punch of alcohol in the nose. Usually, if anyone's like watching,
but it's very vanilla.
You do get it. You do notice a wee bit of like even in the flavour, you get a wee bit of punch of alcohol when it's a wee bit younger.
Yeah,
it's just a thing. It's just how it works because, you know, I think it's 1% a year that the alcohol, the AVB is going to actually drop.
Yep.
Every year, so
correct.
You know. So you're going to get that.
I mean, the thing is though, John, this is still set at 46.
Yeah, so it will be young.
Still set at 46. Nice. So it aged to perfection, especially selected American oak casks. Now, when I tried this the first time, I thought it was so sweet on the taste. I was like, oh my god, this is like a milkshake. But the aftertaste was a wee bit. The first time I tried it, a wee bit harsh. But then once you have a couple of sips,
it's definitely got a nosy punch of alcohol, but it's nice.
I mean, it's not our norm. That's why I want to kind of end on this because
it's nice.
We are very much kind of single malt, and we're not going to be doing any competitions with this kind of stuff. But it's good to kind of, you know, spider out into the different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Ronnie Blair saying easy tiger. Okay, we'll see, Ronnie. We'll see.
No, it's good.
It's very. Do you know what? It's quite very vanilla, very. It's really easy to throw back.
That isn't really nice. It's quite light. It's quite alcoholic. I would absolutely not suggest anyone buys it. And I'm like, listen, I'm only joking.
This is a good.
It is nice.
This is a good thing for any taste, and you're allowed to not like a dram. Anyone who doesn't like a dram and kids on they like a dram, you shouldn't do that.
No. And there's a mad thing where, what was it, the thing at the weekend? We're going to do some more content on the Campbelltown thing, right? So we were at Campbelltown at the weekend there. We went to Glen Scotia, we done the Caden Heads tour, we went to Springbank, went to the Washback Bar, done a massive, we done loads of content there and stuff like that you'll see at some point or another. But one of the big things there was, we did have a couple of times where you were like, don't like that.
Well,
and then I was saying, no, I like that. Like, it was more so like you weren't really digging the really woody tasting drams or whatever stuff that's maybe been something too long.
I'm not crazy for wine cask drams. I know that sounds very specific, but if people should maybe know what I mean. Like I feel like especially red wine casks, you think, oh my god, red wine is going to come out. It's going to look like a dark strawberry. I'm going to look like the colour of this, but it's just the taste. I don't know if it's too oaky. Or it's too, because I like Virgin Oak, American Oak, all that kind of stuff. But as soon as I introduce red wine finishes, I just lose it. I just don't like it. And that's why I was saying as well. That's why I was saying as well. If you're ever at a tasting and you don't like something, just say you don't like it, because we went to Glen Scotia, didn't we? We went to Campbelltown last week. We met Hannah, who is the visitor centre manager. She did a great tasting for us. Superb. She gave us 5 drams of the warehouse stuff. It was high quality.
Whisky. I think we had like a 32-year-old and a 27.
Exactly.
We had some really old age statement stuff. Aye.
The one in the middle was I think the red wine one. You loved it, and I just couldn't. I think
there was a wee bit of like a woody, soury taste to it, and I loved that bit. And there was another one we had in the Caden Heads one, and I think it was the Glenfarclas, and they'd finished that in something kind of strange.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like, I don't like it. And then, but then I was like, oh, no, I like that. And even I think you were like, we were like switching over, passing. But I know it's subjective, isn't it? Really, whiskey is subjective sometimes.
It totally is, and I think it also I don't know, your palate might change after a while, because when we got into whiskey, it was entry level stuff, and then we went, because we were hanging about with the people we were hanging about with, we went sherry bomb after that. We still love sherry bombs, let's be honest, but we've kind of step back. It's not regress, because bourbon's as good as sherry. I know sherry's more expensive. You buy a cask of sherry, it's generally more expensive than a bourbon.
Of course
stuff,
it is,
but that's not to say by any means that bourbon is bad. We've found that out the kind of the long way, haven't we? We went backwards.
I think there's a degree of I don't know. Sometimes like if you drink a lot of sherried whiskies, like a really like heavy sherry bomb, as the term would be called. It sometimes towards the end, see if you get like there's a 3 or 4 of you sitting through brewing a bottle, having that, it can kind of it gets a bit sickening sometimes because you're drinking that really rich sherry dram, but
you get a wee bit sulphury as well, or
sometimes a wee bit, it gets that way. But 2 or 3 of them, or even within a tasting, it's it's a more than welcome. It's a more than welcome dram there. Do you know what I mean? But I know what you mean by that. It's that sometimes you just kind of there's a wee bit of a balancing act goes on there. So.
For sure. No, Glen Scotia, brilliant. Campbelltown trip, brilliant. The Campbelltown stuff is for another episode. When we've been talking about going live, so when we're going live in April. We've got our first 6 competitions ready to launch. Maybe not right away after that, but we've already got lots of stuff from Campbelltown. We're going to do a specific Campbelltown month. That's going to be great. We don't want to launch it straight away because we want to, build momentum. We don't mind saying that. That's fine.
Yeah, of course.
That's why we get Springbank up here and all that kind of stuff. But if anyone in here is considering visiting a distillery for a tour, and doesn't mind driving 3 hours from Glasgow, Springbank Distillery for a tour is fantastic. We didn't do the tour at Glen Scotia. The tasting at Glen Scotia is amazing.
Yeah.
But the tour at Springbank is also amazing. So Campbelltown is worth going to in general. I mean, is that fair to say? Hannah's tasting at Glen Scotia is class.
Oh, it was brilliant. I think we've got to remember the weather at the minute was quite cold. So these warehouses are obviously there's no air conditioning, there's no heating. The air conditioning and the temperature management is opening and closing the windows.
That's crazy.
So you've got to remember that when you go in there, it's absolutely freezing, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
So what they do at Glen Scotia and most of the other places is they have a nice wee comfortable bar or a nice wee comfortable.
Do you know what I was
place you
for
can
that?
sit at, a wee dram bar or whatever.
Like I don't know if Hannah's been on or if she's going to maybe see this later on. I don't mind saying that. See when we booked went in for the warehouse tasting, we were in, and we thought, because we've done warehouse tastings before, and you're literally in the warehouse, and then we kind of went in. And Hannah said to us, "Today you're in this nice little snug with me."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I looked out the window and I could see not snow, but I could see the wind and I see it. And I was like, do you know what? That's a great idea.
Aye.
Because the wee bit in Glen Scotia for doing the tastings in there, as opposed to a freezing warehouse, was actually really welcome.
Aye, it's good.
I loved it.
Good.
I loved it.
Don't get me wrong though, sometimes I'm not saying that that wasn't it was a great tour, it was an amazing tour, but sometimes you want to be chittering in the warehouse and getting
well, do you know what I mean? We done that at Cadden Heads, but
Boona as well as you're right in there, and it's we met some really interesting guys at the Cadden Heads thing. These are Cadden Heads glasses we've got if they're looking at showcasing them, but they 2 American guys that we just bumped in.
Hilarious.
The German guy as well. A lot of people do know this.
Here's Joe Flanagan jumped in. How you doing, Joe? All right.
Right, Joe.
So
it's good. It's good fun all around, isn't it?
I would recommend going to Campbelltown if you're a whiskey fan. Get yourself to Campbelltown.
The area's nice as well. There's loads of nice hotels.
At least once in your life.
We'll probably be back again there. Probably sometime this year at some point, I'd imagine.
That's it. So, I mean, I think what we need to do to end tonight's thing is, I'll take this away, because I don't know if you were too keen on that, John, but that is a nice smashable drinker. We managed to pick up a bottle of Springbank 10-year-old. Which is nice. That's the second bottle of 2022 we've got, so one will be for us, one will be going up for grabs for you guys. So yes, one of us has to drive, so I was driving home, so as I was driving home, something happened to the bottle. What happened to the bottle?
I opened it and I drank it. So I didn't drink too much. I mean that's an acceptable level. I would say that an unacceptable level is where the black kind of meets the orange, and then that's maybe not okay. For you, I mean,
you're about 5 mil off it.
No, I meant that.
Oh, that
yeah, I meant halfway.
Right.
So anyway,
this isn't to say that this was our favourite. I mean, when we were there, we tried some really nice Springbank, some quality, nice. I like the Hazelburn stuff. I loved the Glen Scotia stuff.
And I loved the long row stuff was brilliant as well. Yeah. I mean, all of it was good, really.
The problem is, for us, we brought back lots of Glen Scotia, long row, Hazelburn and Springbank, but we've got it for you guys to win in the future. So the only one we could afford to open, because we had one at home, was this, but it doesn't disappoint, does it?
No, it's fantastic.
And like, see for a normal core range 10-year-old whiskey that nobody can get now, by the way, which is crazy. Let's not go into that.
Yeah,
but
I know
the quality.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Is superb. Last dram of the night.
Well, last dram on stream.
Last dram on cam.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
So yeah, I mean,
and the good thing about being around Campbelltown and when you're actually there, I mean, obviously it's not too far from Glasgow.
There's Big Crow David Crawford,
2-3 hours. You know what I mean? Really easy to get to.
Oh, and just to stop you there, John.
Sorry.
Joe Flanagan said, "All right, boys. How you doing, Joe? All right." Paul has Paul Brown's text in again. Springbank, a very popular dram indeed. Not got one in my collection yet. Right, Paul. So we purposely went up to Campbelltown, as you've just heard, and we've got loads of Springbank, Kilkerran, Long Row, Hazelburn. That is coming. We're going to do a Springbank month. Sorry. We're going to do a Campbelltown month, aren't we?
We're going to do a Campbelltown month.
Glen Scotia.
It's not going to be just Campbell. It's not going to be just Springbank. It's going to be Cadenheads, Campbelltown.
Exactly.
You've got me saying that now. It's going to be Springbank. It's going to be Cadenheads and Glen Scotia.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that, Paul, and hopefully we can get one into your collection. David Crawford's watching. How you doing, Big Craw? You probably didn't see the draw, but number 99 won. Sue Scott. David Crawford actually messaged in before saying he was 1 or 2 numbers away. Of the last one. So
what's that?
Yeah. Nice 16 there too. Love the yellow, my fave colour. Okay, the local barley. Yeah. So no,
it's 10.
It's 10 years old. But the local barley's funny.
Oh, they might, unless they mean that one. I don't know.
That's 15 as well. But the local barley's funny, isn't it? Because we actually, Campbelltown's so small. We went on the tour. We met the guys who were working in the distillery at the time when they were on shift whilst we were doing the tour. And after John and I went for a pint of Guinness after a tour, as you do.
Yeah.
We went into a little pub called the Black Sheep, and sitting there at the bar was the guy who was in Springbank Distillery
operating stills.
Operating the stills, exactly.
Yeah. So we got chatting to them as well, and you know how it is. Like if you know your whiskey, you know how Springbank and the way it's going. You know, we've been kind of into Springbank and into whiskey for, you know, kind of, I would say before the boom and before the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like we took a dram of Springbank and that stuff. And I'm not saying we were there before everybody else, but you know what I mean? Like we take an interest in actually go to the distillery and stuff. So. Aye, brilliant. We even tried managed to try a 30-year-old. They still had some of that left in the washback bar and stuff.
Yeah, great.
30-year-old dram, you know what I mean? Like 2 years are no far off that age, you know what I mean? So, fantastic.
It was great.
You know?
No, it was great. Aye. Almost as old as us. No, but
may let the other way around.
The reason I was going to say that the local barley bottle, the reason they produce little of it and it goes off the shelf so quickly and it's a wee bit of a higher price point is because it's so hard to work with.
That's what they said. Aye.
That's what they said.
So I think it's like
he used a different word. He didn't say so hard. He said it's an absolute to work with.
I think it was like F and N, if anyone can work out what that is.
Aye, well, aye.
Nah, but I think it's what they were saying was like they've got these testers now that they can test the malt and how much like moisture's inside it, and I think the local barley, because the way that Campbelltown and the landscape and that is built there, it holds moisture a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time they get it through and get it into a wash or whatever, it's causing them issues basically. So it's going to maybe take longer to do to get it to a point where it's ready to distill or whatever else. So it's going to be, that fermentation process is a little bit more challenging than it would be with just a normal not imported, but you know, a barley that's bought in from a supplier that's it's been dried in the right way and so on.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets a wee bit kind of, it's very technical.
No, I mean Springbank as well. Like we because we are such Islay fans, we go to Islay every year. We don't really associate anyone else with having peated whiskey, and I'm not saying that Springbank is heavily peated, but when you smell it and taste it, you definitely get a little bit. And Ali was telling us on the tour that they use dry and wet. And the 10-year-old, I can't remember.
They do a mix, I think it's an 80-20 on Springbank.
I think it's to make it. Obviously, long row is heavily peated. Like Hazelburn's heavily light, and Springbank's kind of in the middle. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Through him telling me, and through just
yeah.
But you do get peat off this.
I do get peat off.
But it's not overpowering.
It's no major.
It's not going to make you sick. You know. It's.
And then the 15, obviously, a lot of the big distilleries, they follow. No, Springbank's a massive distillery, but a small distillery in scale, but a huge distillery in kind of notoriety and local over the last few years has become a massive thing. But like typically, what they'll do with any of the bigger distilleries is they'll have a 10-year-old core range bourbon only, and then they'll go up to a 15-year-old. And you've got that whole 10, 12, 15 kind of cycle. 10, 12, 15, 18. And what they tend to do is, like, the next one up will be a sherry or whatever. Glenfiddich and that. They tend to follow that same sort of methodology, if you like. But I mean, when you move up to that and you move up, like some of the older ones, the 21 and the 30, are kind of, some of them are just bourbon, and my God, they just, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
Really good.
But what I couldn't get my head around is the scarcity of their core range. Usually when you go to a whiskey distillery, after you've done your tour, all that kind of stuff, you go in, you can buy pretty much what you want. You pay a price for it, but you pay more or less, you can get more or less what you want.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, Springbank 10, 15 or 12, 18, you just can't get them.
Well, the girls in the shop tells that they're limited to three bottles of 10, 3 bottles of 15 in the morning, so we're only assuming that means 9 o'clock till say 1 o'clock in the afternoon after lunch, when they've had their lunch or whatever, and then they have 3 bottles of each. The 10 and the 15 is limited from say 1 o'clock to 3:30 or 5 o'clock, and the rest is pretty much unavailable. Like the rest is.
I think because the production is smaller than anyone else, and
so I think they're like
small production, and B,
like $250,000
how many people want it. Like, it's so desirable now, because for me the reason it's so desirable is because everything's done manually. It's done. You can almost feel the workmanship when you drink the dram. That sounds quite corny, but it's true.
No, it's true.
It's true.
It is. It's so true.
Aye. No, we love it. But I think we need to make this one the last of tonight. We've had a good night. Everyone's come in and stayed watching. Thanks very much. If there's anything we can be doing in the future to upgrade or make this experience better, then send us a message. Let us know. Also, website's going to be launching very, very soon.
So
let's say in a month's time.
I would say probably start to mid of April. We'll probably have something on the go.
If there's any bottles that are on your wish list and you want them to be involved in our competitions, please let us know. Like John said right at the start of the show, we've been collecting for 5-6 years, trying not to drink all of them. Failing at some points and succeeding at others, but maybe we've got the one that you want. If we don't have it, maybe we can get it. Maybe we'll try and get it. We'll do our best. Please just let us know if there's anything that you want to see going on our website. And I mean, it's really for you guys. So if the community wants something, we can try and deliver it.
Yeah,
try our absolute best. And we love doing so. We love going to these places, getting the bottles, all that kind of stuff, coming back, telling the story on this, and then giving it away.
Because usually if we buy 2, that means you get 1 and we get 1 too.
Yes. I think as the website progresses and we start doing older and rarer stuff, how are we gonna try it and competition at the same time.
We need to be very careful, I guess, with that one. You know.
Yeah, we've
end up drinking all the stock.
We've got some stuff in here that we really can't open. We need to keep it for you guys.
Of course.
And I know Paul thought that it was that we drank the prize, but once we get up to the bigger prizes, we will not be drinking them as much as we'd like to. Or maybe the winner. Maybe the winner can send us a picture and send us back a sample. We'll give them some free credit to the website.
Exactly.
Instead of us sending you,
yeah,
you can win it and then send us back a little bit.
The next Steve Jobs or there, man. Love that. What an idea that is.
Paul, again, I said, looking forward to seeing the website and building up the community. Nice one, Paul. Nice one. No, that's what it's all about. No, it's people like you that make this. So thanks very much.
Right, guys.
Great. So I think, spring back. We don't need to finish this to let everyone know that it's a great drama. Well, we'll have one more. Thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been great again. We can sit here and talk about this all night.
Yeah, I know.
And there probably will be one night where we do that, but we'll try and do it incrementally, month by month, competition by competition. There's going to be more prizes, more draws, more everything. Keep your eyes out. Thanks for coming, and we will see you next time. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.